The topic for discussion is anterior triangle of neck. The anterior triangle of neck lies in the midline of the neck and the sternocleidomastoid muscle. So where does the anterior triangle lie? It lies in the midline of the neck and between the sternocleidomastoid muscle. In this diagram, you can see the anterior triangle which is indicated by the gray in color. Behind the anterior triangle is the sternocleidomastoid muscle and the apex lies at the jugular notch. So this is the anterior triangle of the neck. Coming to the boundaries, what are the boundaries of anterior triangle of the neck? Anterior boundary, where does the anterior boundary is formed by the median line of the neck, whereas the posterior boundary is formed by the anterior border of the sternocleidomastoid muscle. So the anterior boundary is by the median line of the neck and posterior boundary by the anterior border of sternocleidomastoid muscle. The blue line indicates the anterior boundary, that is the median line of the neck, whereas the red arrow indicates the anterior border of sternocleidomastoid muscle, which is the posterior boundary. Coming to the superior boundary. Superior boundary is formed by the inferior border of the mandible and apex is located at the jugular notch in the manubrium. In this diagram, we can see the yellow line and the yellow arrow indicates the superior boundary, that is the inferior border of the mandible, whereas the apex by the arrow, blue arrow, that is the jugular notch. The roof is formed by the subcutaneous tissue containing the platysma. The floor is formed by the pharynx, larynx and the thyroid gland. So these are the boundaries of anterior triangle of the neck. Now after the boundaries, we will see the division of anterior triangle. How the anterior triangle is divided. The anterior triangle is divided by the digastric and the homohyoid muscles divides the anterior triangle to small triangles. What are those? The unpaired submental triangle and the three are paired triangles. What are the paired triangles? That is submandibular triangle, carotid triangle and the muscular triangle. So the anterior triangle subdivisions are submental triangle, submandibular triangle, carotid triangle and the muscular triangle. In this diagram, you can see the orange demarcation is the submental triangle, whereas beside it is the submandibular triangle. Below the submandibular triangle is the carotid triangle and the yellow color is the muscular triangle. So these are the four subdivisions of the anterior triangle of the neck. Let us discuss about each in detail. Coming to submental triangle. Submental triangle is the unpaired triangle which is present in the anterior triangle of the neck. Inferior to the chin is an unpaired in the unpaired suprahyoid area. Okay, in this diagram you can see the blue color is the inferior area of the chin and beneath it is the submental triangle which is indicated by the black color demarcation. The black color demarcation is the submental triangle. Coming to its border, inferiorly it is lined by the body of the hyoid bone. Laterally, right and left anterior bellies of digastric muscles. Floor is formed by the two mylohyoid muscles. The apex of the submental triangle is at the mandibular symphysis region, whereas the base is formed by the hyoid bone. So these are the borders of the submental triangle. Don't get confused between the inferior border. Inferior border is the body of hyoid bone, whereas the base is formed by the hyoid bone. So don't get confused. In this diagram, you can see the yellow color area. The yellow color demarcation is the submental triangle. Okay, above which or the laterally lies the anterior right and left anterior bellies of digastric. Floor is formed by the mylohyoid muscle as it is seen in the diagram and base is formed by the hyoid bone. So these are the boundaries of submental triangle. Let's see the contents. The main contents are the submental lymph nodes and the anterior jugular vein. As the name indicates, submental triangle, so the content would be submental lymph node. In this diagram, the green color indicates the submental triangle. Below submental lymph node, below the submental lymph node is the digastric muscle. Next comes the submandibular triangle. What is submandibular triangle? It is the paired triangle in the anterior triangle of the neck. It is an area between the inferior border of the mandible and the anterior and posterior bellies of the digastric muscle. Okay, the floor here is formed by the mylohyoid and the hyoglossus muscle. So what is submandibular triangle? The submandibular triangle is bounded by the inferior border of the mandible and the anterior and posterior bellies of the digastric muscle. In this diagram, the blue color indicates the submandibular triangle and it is between the anterior and posterior bellies of the gygastric muscle. So these are the borders of the submandibular triangle. So these are the borders of the submandibular triangle. The blue color is the submandibular triangle. Coming to its contents, what are the contents? The contents are arteries are facial artery, sublingual artery and submental artery. Veins follow the arteries. What are the nerves? They are the mylohyoid nerve and the hypoglossal nerve. What are the structures it contains? That is the submandibular gland, inferior portion of the parietal gland and the submandibular lymph node. So these are the contents of the submandibular triangle. It consists of facial artery, which is the main artery, and facial vein. As I said, facial arteries follows the vein. In this diagram, you can see the contents. That is the facial vein, the facial artery, the submandibular lymph node, and the submandibular gland. So these are the main contents which are seen in the diagram. Remember the contents and the diagram. As the name indicates, submandibular triangle. So the contents you should firstly remember is submandibular gland and the submandibular lymph node. Okay, these are the main contents. Coming to the carotid triangle. Carotid triangle is also the paired triangle in the neck region. It is the vascular area bounded by the superior belly of the homohyoid, the posterior belly of gygastric muscle, and the anterior border of the sternocleidomastoid muscle. In this diagram, the yellow color demarcation is a carotid triangle. Okay, above which it is bounded by the posterior belly of gygastric muscle and the superior belly of the homohyoid muscle and by anterior border of the sternocleidomastoid muscle. These are the borders of carotid triangle. Now, at the level of the superior border of the thyroid cartilage, what does it do? The common carotid artery divides into internal and external carotid artery. Remember this, as the name indicates, a carotid triangle. In the carotid triangle, it consists of carotid artery. So, at the level of superior border of the thyroid cartilage, what does it do? The common carotid artery divides into external carotid artery and the internal carotid artery. These are the important. This is very important. The carotid triangle, it consists of carotid artery, common carotid artery. At the level of superior border of thyroid cartilage, it divides into external carotid artery and internal carotid artery. Coming to carotid sheath is a neurovascular structure of the carotid triangle and surrounded by the carotid sheath and its contents. What are the contents? They are common carotid artery, internal jugular vein, and the vagus nerve. So the carotid sheath consists of an artery that is a common carotid artery, which you can see is indicated by the red color. Vein is in blue color, and the vagus nerve is in yellow color. These are the contents of carotid sheath. Okay. Next comes the carotid sinus, a slight dilation of the proximal part of the internal carotid artery, which may involve the common carotid artery. In this diagram, the black color indicates the carotid sinus, okay, which is present at the proximal part of internal carotid artery. Okay, it is innervated principally by the glossopharyngeal nerve to the carotid sinus nerve as well as the vagus nerve. Its function is it acts as a baroreceptor. Coming to carotid body, it is a small reddish brown ovoid mass of the tissue that lies on the medial deep side of the bifurcation of common carotid artery in close relation to the carotid sinus. So, it is reddish brown ovoid mass. In this diagram, you can see the carotid body which is present at the bifurcation of common carotid artery indicated by the yellow arrow. It is a carotid body. It is supplied mainly by carotid sinus nerve, that is the glossopharyngeal nerve, and the vagus nerve. It acts as a chemoreceptor which monitors the level of oxygen in the blood. What is coming to the last triangle, that is a muscular triangle. Even it is a paired triangle in the anterior triangle of the neck. Okay, coming to its borders are the anterior border of the sternocleidomastoid muscle, superior homohyoid muscle, and midline of the neck. Floor is formed by the sternohyoid muscle and the sternothyroid muscle. These are the borders of the muscular triangle. So muscular triangle is bounded by anterior border of sternocleidomastoid muscle, superior belly of homohyoid, and midline of the neck. In this diagram, you can see the yellow demarcation is the muscular triangle. Medially is it the black line indicates the midline of the neck, superior belly of homohyoid which is present above, and the anterior border of the sternocleidomastoid muscle, followed by sternohyoid muscle and the sternothyroid muscle. Let's see the contents. What are the contents? It consists of artery. What is the artery? It contains the main artery is the superior thyroid artery. What are the veins it consists of? It consists of inferior thyroid vein and the anterior jugular vein. What are the nerve it consists of? Is the ansa cervicalis. What are the structures it contains? The structures it contains sternohyoid, sternothyroid and the thyroid muscles, the thyroid gland, parathyroid gland, larynx, trachea and esophagus. These are the structures and the contents of the muscular triangle. In this diagram you can see the scap muscles which are present in the muscular triangle. Okay, coming to ansa cervicalis. Ansa cervicalis is the nerve supply to the muscular triangle of the neck. It is also known as ansa hypoglossa. It is a thin loop which lies embedded in the anterior wall of carotid sheath over the lower part of the larynx. It supplies to the infrahyoid muscle and it is formed by the superior roots and the inferior roots. So mainly the ansa cervicalis supplies to the infrahyoid muscles. Remember this. It is also known as ansa hypoglossa. Coming to the inferior root. Inferior root is derived from sequence C3. It winds round the internal jugular vein and continues anterior-inferiorly to join the superior root. Superior root is formed by the superior belly of homoid. In this diagram, you can see the inferior root and the superior root. As we know, inferior root is formed by sequence C3 and it supplies to the inferior belly of homoid, sternohyoid and sternothyroid muscles, whereas the superior root is formed by the C1 and it supplies to the superior belly of homoid. And the most commonly asked